Hello everyone and welcome. We are back into top 5 roamings in Loomian Legacy. So these are all of the really good Loomians with 650 stats across the board. So yeah, all of these Loomians are really good, but we're going to be ranking the top 5 of them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get right into this top 5. So number 5 on the list of roams is actually going to be Nevermare. And the reason why I put Nevermare on this list over Nimue, I was thinking about putting Nimue, but I put it Nevermare because 1 is a little bit faster, 2, I think its defensive typing's a little bit better, and 3, it has more coverage. So yeah, I was thinking about putting Nimue, and Nimue is an honorable mention, but Nevermare. It has an ability called Razor Sharp that gives it a 50% chance to crit with any of its moves, which is really good because he has all slashing moves, which makes it so Nevermare can crit 50% of the time and makes it a really good late game cleaner. And having Primal Slash as ancient coverage is so good for those ancient types. It really makes Nevermare shine. It does have a couple big weaknesses though. It is weak to Spirit, it is weak to Bug, and it's also weak to Ice, so Icicle Traps might not be the easiest thing to use with it. And it also doesn't hit hard enough. Unless you crit, it doesn't really hit hard enough. So that's why it is at the lowest in the top 5. But Nevermare is insanely scary and still one of the best late game cleaners. Like, you really got to watch out for Nevermare. I mean, look at this. It actually sweeps in this match. So, yeah, and then, if you add the ability of getting critical hits, you can really do some heavy damage. So, yeah, Nevermare is at number 5, and I think it's a good spot for it. So, let's head into the next number. So, number 4 on this top 5 is actually going to be very interesting. Like, a lot of people would rank Protagon number 1, but I have a few reasons why it's not number 1. But let's start with the positives. Analyze is an amazing ability. It has great coverage, Metal, Thunderstrike, and Energy Surge. Pretty high attack across the board. Pretty solid energy tier. Although, just like Nevermare, it's not the most bulkiest thing in the world. I mean, it only has 53 in health, which kind of doesn't make it work well. And Protagon also really heavily relies on the +1 range boost. It just doesn't hit hard enough for what is essentially a roam. It doesn't mean Protagon's bad. It's actually really good. One of the best late game cleaners. But, Protagon is pretty exploitable. I mean, you could just put something with +1 range defense, and then that Protagon will not be able to deal that much damage. So that's why it's not in the top 3. Although Protagon is still one of the best late game cleaners in the game. I mean, there's no question about that. So yeah, I think number 4 is a good spot for Protagon. Let's head into the next number. So, number 3 on the top 5 of roams is actually going to be Cosmo. And I wasn't sure on what Cosmo to put. I was thinking about either the cracked version or the Unleashed. I only wanted to put it 1 on the Cosmos. I decided to go with Unleash. 1, its melee attack is so high. 2, I think its moves are better. I really like Meteor Smash and Cerebral Slash. And 3, and probably the main reason why it's over Cosmo cracked, is Surrogate. It can actually take its abilities from your dead Loomian. So it could take Total Eclipse, it could take Slick Shell, it could take Ace. It's so many. You can form so many combos with Cosmo Unleashed. It's actually insane. It was very close, but I did decide to go with the Unleashed form. Plus, it's really good. It can hypnotize, it could slumber to get rid of status. And Ancient Mind's very good coverage. There's only one flaw I would say about Cosmo. It can't hit metal types. But even then, it's still one of the most dangerous Loomians in the game. And plus, you can easily fix that with a Wise Wind trick. So, yeah, that's how you fix it. And as you can see, it completely comes in late in this game and just completely cleans up this guy's team. I mean, Cosmo Unleashed, you do not want to mess with it. Especially since it's a Loomian that you can combine Total Eclipse with. If you get this thing with Total Eclipse, oh my gosh, Cosmo would be OP. Its Eclipse wouldn't hurt it, and also its Dark weakness can be totally nullified. So yeah, that's why Cosmo's in the top 3, but honestly, any of the Cosmos could be up there. They are all really good. But I decided to pick the Unleashed form, so yeah. That's number 3. Let's head into number 2. So, Number 2 on this list, it's between one of two, and I decided to go with Cephalops on number 2. Now, Cephalops. This thing is banned in tournaments because it's just that good. I mean, Dark Water is amazing offensive typing, very high range attack, really bulky, solid speed. Like 52 is not a lot, but it is good enough for what Cephalops is. And Soul Drain. Soul Drain. Soul Drain is what makes Cephalops good. Able to regen that health back is just amazing. And it hits so hard with its Bloodsucker ability that Cephalops can literally carry a lot of matches. There's a lot of ways you can run it. You can run a smart heavy hitter. You can run a defensive one with icicle traps. You can run a hypnotize one. You can also run a nimble one to outspeed Tyrex. There's a lot of ways you can actually run Cephalops, which makes it really scary. There's a reason why this thing is banned in a lot of tournaments, because it's just that good. The only reason why it's not number 1, and there's only one reason, is because it doesn't have a setup move. But other than that, Cephalops is basically the best Loomian in the game. Except for number 1. I think number 1 is just a little bit better than Cephalops. Although, still, Cephalops is still really OP. I mean, it's tanking these hits really well. Look at this. This isn't an El Iguana. This is a range tank. And it one-shots. Like, Cephalops, you're probably one of the most OP Loomians in the entire game. So, yeah, that is number 2. Let's head right to the number 1 spot. So the best roaming in the game is Mutagon. Now, I don't think this was too much of a surprise. I mean, Mutagon has a high melee attack stat, high melee defense stat, good energy, good health. The only thing he doesn't have is range defense and speed, but that's completely nullified when you have Quick Punch. Quick Punch, Brawn Boost, you win. It's that simple. I mean, priority is probably the best thing Mutagon could ever have. And there's only one flaw I could really say with Mutagon. The only flaw would be is that I would probably have to say no healing. It can't really heal its health back, but it doesn't need to. All it needs is one Brawn Boost, and it can sweep the entire game. Like, and I know I'm not using the best footage of Mutagon here because, guess what? I just recently battled a Mutagon with a full bug type team, and I want you to guess what happened. Let's show it. Let's see this. Let's see what Mutagon does to this team. So yeah, it's actually a Gamma Ice one, which is pretty cool, but look what Mutagon does. Well, I think you already know what's gonna happen. Yeah, this guy is gonna sweep my whole team, and that's the thing with Mutagon. You're kind of forced to have a spirit type on your team if you want to beat Mutagon. Like, it's kind of forced. That Mutagon is also another Loomian that is also banned in tournaments. It makes sense. I mean, Mutagon is just really overpowered. I mean, yeah. Brawn Boost, Quick Punch, you win the game. And Telekinetic to hit those poison types makes it almost unstoppable to beat. Yeah, Mutagon is really, really, really good. And it's actually going to get body crashed in the new update. So it's actually going to be used to run Tank Mutagon. So Tank Mutagon's going to be very powerful too. So, yeah, Mutagon. I think it makes sense. I mean, having priority with Brawn Boost makes Mutagon the most unstoppable Loomian in the entire game. So, Mutagon is number 1. I think it's obvious. And plus, it's a very cool Loomian too. It's very cool looking. So, that's obviously a plus. Especially its ice form. Its ice form looks really cool. So yeah, Mutagon's the best roaming in the game as it handily takes the number 1 slot. So, here he is, Mutagon. And yes, this thing is very powerful. It makes sense. So, what are y'all top 5 roams in the comments below? Who do y'all think is the best roaming in the game? I want to see your comments down below. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this top 5. And I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!